Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled in the hills of Judea, lived a devoted couple named Zacharias and Elizabeth. They were known throughout the village for their unwavering faith and righteousness. They were always seen helping their neighbors and worshipping faithfully in the temple. Yet despite their many blessings, their hearts ached for one thing they did not have: a child, because Elizabeth was barren. Zacharias, a priest, had long served God in the temple with devotion. But as days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, Elizabeth remained barren. One day, while Zacharias was performing his duties in the temple, an angel named Gabriel appeared to him, standing on the right side of the altar of incense. Startled and afraid, Zacharias listened as the angel Gabriel delivered a divine message. "Do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your prayer is heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you're to call him John. He will be a joy and delight to you, and many will rejoice because of his birth." But Zacharias said to the angel, "How shall I know this? I am old, and my wife Elizabeth is also old." And the angel answered and said to him, "I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God, and was sent to speak to you and bring you these glad tidings. But behold, you will be mute and not be able to speak until the day these things take place, because you did not believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their own time." Overjoyed and filled with hope, though he was mute, Zacharias hurried home, wrote the news on a writing tablet, and shared the miraculous message with Elizabeth. They both rejoiced, dreaming of the day they would hold their son. Despite their strong faith, doubt began to creep into their hearts. Elizabeth faced whispers and pitying looks from the villagers. Zacharias, too, struggled with his faith. Yet they chose to remain steadfast, leaning on each other and their faith in God's promise. They prayed daily, seeking strength and reassurance from God. Though Zacharias was mute because he didn't believe the message brought by Angel Gabriel, he and Elizabeth didn't isolate themselves in their pain. They found solace in serving their community, helping others, and sharing their faith. They told stories of God's faithfulness and miracles, reminding themselves and others that God's timing is perfect, even when it seems delayed. Then, one blessed day, Elizabeth conceived. One quiet evening, as Elizabeth sat in the garden, she felt an unfamiliar sensation. The gentle flutter of life within her brought tears to her eyes. "Zacharias! Zacharias!" she called, her voice trembling with joy. Their miracle had finally begun. The long-awaited day arrived, and Elizabeth gave birth to a son. They named him John, just as the angel had instructed, and suddenly Zacharias' voice was restored. Their home was filled with laughter and songs of praise. Just like Zacharias and Elizabeth, we all experience times of waiting. It could be waiting for a job, a relationship, or a dream to come true. These periods of waiting can be difficult and filled with doubt. But it's important to trust in God's timing, to remain faithful and hopeful, and never to doubt. Remember, waiting isn't wasted time. It's a period where God prepares us for what's to come. During these times, stay engaged in your community, help others, and keep praying. Surround yourself with supportive friends and family and find strength in Scripture and stories of faith. Just as Zechariah and Elizabeth discovered, God's promises are always worth the wait. Trust in His timing, remain faithful, and you will see His blessings unfold in your life. Have you experienced a time when you had to wait on God's timing? Share your story in the comments, and let's support each other in faith and patience. Your story could be a beacon of hope for someone else in a season of waiting.